All right, so let's cut through all the noise, bring in Lori Williams. She is in Calgary, Mount Royal University. Wow, this is something that I don't think I've ever seen before, Lori. First of all, the leader gets thrown out, and then all the members of his party stand up. They also leave as well. Your immediate reaction to what we saw in question period today?
Well, I just have to question the strategy. I don't know what they're trying to accomplish. I can see being upset about something that's very serious, but to make this kind of move over an inappropriate comment, calling the Prime Minister wacko is unparliamentary language. That's just objectively the case. Wacko policy is one thing, wacko Prime Minister is another. The second thing is that, this is the kind of display you might want to be associating with a serious ongoing policy. This is a policy that's on its way to being reversed. So the strategy behind sort of standing on parliamentary language and the entire caucus leaving when Pierre Poilievre is ejected, I don't know if this is going to appeal to those moderate voters that the Conservatives are hoping to win over. And as things shift from looking at what people dislike about the government or Justin Trudeau and focus on what kind of Prime Minister Pierre Poilievre might be, this is not the sort of thing that's going to help.
So you're saying it's a political stunt, Lori, perhaps?
Well, I don't think there's any question. They're counting on this being, making news, hitting social media. But I'm actually quite interested by the remarks made afterwards to somehow justify what they did. It looks to me like they realized that they'd gone a bit too far, and they're trying to moderate or justify something that just isn't going to play well with those who are looking for a credible alternative.
Speaking of not playing well, I mean, that's the sort of counter narrative we're hearing from the Liberals and the NDP. I'm sure the Bloc would say the same thing. Look, this is not parliamentary behavior. This Conservative leader is not playing well with the rest of us in the sandbox, so to speak. This is un-Canadian, what we're seeing here. But the Conservatives are well aware that Justin Trudeau is not popular at all these days, Lori, with many Canadians. And so perhaps they feel they have a little bit more latitude to get a little bit more personal.
Well, there may be the latitude there. I guess we'll see as time goes on. But, again, why would you need to engage in these kinds of tactics when you're this far ahead in the polls? I mean, that's a position where you can afford to be presenting different alternatives, to look prime ministerial, to when you are that far ahead to engage in this activity. Again, it doesn't seem to make a whole lot of sense, and it might actually call into question the character of Pierre Poilievre as Prime Minister.
Well, certainly that's what the Liberals are going to try to do. I'm wondering whether you think this was, pre-choreographed, or whether you think it was sort of something that happened in the moment. Poilievre uses the term wacko. He's called out. He's told several times, you got to withdraw that word. He starts to get a little defensive. He looks at, the Speaker, who is a former Liberal MP himself, Greg Fergus, and he thinks, no, I'm not going to do that.
Well, it's not like we haven't seen this sort of behavior on the part of others as well, but particularly on the part of Mr. Poilievre in the past. He doesn't react well to criticism or correction. And certainly criticism and correction, learning from mistakes and doing better in the future is the kind of thing that we need in leaders who do sometimes make mistakes, whose judgment may be off on certain occasions. There was an opportunity again to appear to be prime ministerial, to appear statesperson-like, if you like, and this was the choice instead. Now, I have to say, this is going to appeal to some of the folks that are out there that are angry, but it's going to feed the polarization, the disagreement, the divisions between and amongst Canadians. And again, I think this is a time where leaders all around need to be looking at possibilities and opportunities for setting a more positive example. Actually engaging in substantive criticism of things that need to be improved and suggesting things that can be done better.
Lori Williams in Calgary with her take. Thanks, Lori.
Thank you, Tom.